Hello. This is my 100-mile review, so I would consider this an initial review of the Asics Noosa Tri 14. I bought these myself on a Black Friday discount, so I got these for 75 bucks. Um, Asics doesn't know that I exist. They don't know that I bought them and probably don't care. I'm doing a 100-mile review because this is my initial review. I find that my thoughts about a shoe tend to evolve over the first 100 miles or so, sometimes even longer than that. So I don't really understand like some of the reviewers who come out after like 25 miles and do what they call a full review, because I think it takes time to sort of settle in and really form a good opinion. My plan would then be to do a follow-up review on these at somewhere in the 300 to 500 mile range. So to get started, Noosa Tri. Um, I think let's start with the upper. The I think the Noosa Tri series is one of the coolest looking shoes out there. Some people don't care for the really wild designs and stuff like that, but I'm not one of those people. I really like it. Um, it has excellent stepping comfort, and I've had no issues with breathability, although it is wintertime, so lately I've been running in some pretty cool conditions, but even so, it seems like it's pretty breathable. I have a normal to wide foot, and I have plenty of room to wiggle my toes. I tend to waver between a 10 and 10 and a half, and I've been going 10 and a half in Asics because my Novablast 3, I bought in a 10, and those were quite snug, and I bought the Nimbus 25 in 10 and a half, and that worked pretty well. Um, the tongue is padded, but not puffy. It's a soft material. I know that they talk about these shoes as being something that you can wear barefoot, which I don't do, but it is very comfortable and soft inside. Um, it's also gusseted. You can see the gussets on there. No issues with lace bite. Um, has a very stout heel collar for uh, for a lightweight shoe, and it's got this elf heel design, and my foot slips in really easily. See, it's got like this pull tab and the elf heel, so if I grab that and I just go back in. The midsole. So Running Warehouse lists this at 33 in the heel and 28 in the forefoot for a 5 mil drop, for Avens 9, whereas Asics lists them at 26 in the heel and 21. Um, so sometimes, depending on the model, sometimes Asics doesn't count the insole and the outsole, and they only count the foam. So that's probably the discrepancy, and they are also listed at 7.6 ounces for the standard size, which is very light, and they feel light. They feel light on foot. Asics uses a flight foam midsole, which is standard EVA. It's on the firm side, not particularly responsive. It's kind of an older technology. It is a fast shoe, but the shoe gets most of its speed from its geometry and its lightweight. The geometry is really key to this shoe. They call it their guide sole technology, which is their rocker. And doesn't really show up that much, but you do feel it. Um, it rolls through so nice that I can go pretty quick without hitting the ground too hard. Um, which is nice because it doesn't have a huge thick stack of foam. Um, Even though it is it's a firm shoe, and you have a very grounded feel that you're really feeling the ground underneath you. If you want a cushy shoe, this is not the shoe for you. I would say if you want something that's a much more cushioned daily trainer, I'd go for something like the Nova Blast. Um, the Noosa Tri 15, uh, they actually changed the rocker design a little bit. It's somewhat of a later stage rocker. With this one, you see it's a very gradual sloping, whereas Asics is putting, and they put this on their Nova Blast 4 too, is that the rocker starts a little bit later and then it's sharper. Um, I also have the Brooks Hyperion Max, which has sort of a later stage rocker like that as well, and both of them work fine for me. I get a nice roll through on either kind of rocker. Um, Outsole. There's very minimal wear on the outsole. It's not a huge amount of rubber coverage, um, and it looks really, really shallow, but I haven't had any problems running on wet ground. Uh, I'm in Southern California, so we don't get huge amounts of rain and stuff like that, so most of the wet ground that I'm running on is just runoff from people's sprinklers. But even so, have not had any issues. Um, they do seem to have improved the traction pattern in the Noosa Tri 15, though. I think that one, the traction pattern is much more similar to the Magic Speed. Let's see, the ride. So the ride, it has a really nice roll through. If you want to just kind of go easy and just roll through your stride, or if you want to pick up the pace, because it is such a light shoe that it works very, very well. I find the cushioning to be adequate for a heavier runner, somebody with a more powerful step. Uh, that just comes down harder on the ground. I don't know if it would be adequate. I'm 130 pounds. Um, so I mentioned in my Nimbus 25 review that that shoe affects my mechanics because it's heavy and bulky, and so I have a hard time turning over my feet quickly. Um, this shoe allows me to run with a fast cadence, and I can run pretty fast in the shoe. However, sometimes I am aware of maybe not wanting to hit the ground too hard because of its more minimalist feel. So I tend to lean into the rocker geometry more. Although, when lately especially, I do a lot of my runs on weekdays in the dark, in the early morning before the kids get up, before I have to get them to school. So a lot of times I don't want to stride out too much. I want to keep my cadence faster and keep my steps a little shorter because it's dark and visibility is not great, and I'm running with my dog, and if he gets excited, then he starts pulling too much, and I don't want to get knocked over. So what do I like? I like the looks. This is a really cool looking shoe. Um, it has fantastic step-in comfort, and the geometry, the roll through is nearly perfect. Um, what do I dislike? I'm not crazy about the foam. It's adequate cushion, but I think that Asics could do better. They could put a more premium foam in here. And that brings me to some of the alternatives. Um, watching some of the videos from TRE, the Hoka Mach 6 this year is getting a supercritical foam, um, the entire midsole, and they're putting an outsole on it. The Adidas Adios 9 is going to be full Light Strike Pro. The Brooks Hyperion 2 is going to be, as far as the geometry and the stack, it's going to be very, very similar to the Hyperion Max this year, but they're getting their DNA Flash V2, which I think is a EVA TPU blend, which they're claiming is going to be softer and more responsive than the DNA Flash V1. The New Balance Rebel, also they've changed the fuel cell formulation so that it's like some kind of a PIBA EVA blend. But either way, these other brands are putting premium foams in their shoes, and they're all going to be coming out in the like $130, $140 range. And the Noosa in its regular retail price is also $130. So if I'm missing any, feel free to put in the comments and let me know if there's other lightweight trainers that I'm overlooking. But with these other brands using premium foams, I think if Asics put some FF Turbo on these, similar to what they've got in the Super Blast, these would absolutely be in the conversation for the best lightweight trainer, like non-plated trainer. Would I wear them to work? I've thought about it. I might. They're very, very comfortable on foot, but I do question whether there's enough cushion for me to stand on these hard floors at the hospital for 12 hours in these. So, not sure. Would I buy them again? Only if they upgrade the foam. Otherwise, I'll go with one of the other previously mentioned models. I also have the Hyperion Max in my rotation, and I do find myself reaching for that one more, especially on my longer run days, which is 10 miles for me, and that's with the old DNA Flash midsole. So that's about it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the video if you like the video. Feel free to comment if you have any thoughts about this shoe or anything else of these lightweight non-plated trainers. And I apologize if I run a little bit long, but I'm trying not to leave anything out. Okay, have a nice day.